In this episode of Movies Merica, I bring you Ezra Miller in The Flash. No. Not his flash that he does off screen. No worries there, okay? No, this is The Flash, the movie that Ezra Miller is in where he plays The Flash, Barry Allen, all right? So, worry not, fret not. Let's get on with the show.
In a world where the number of movies available is great, but many are so bad, you'll learn a new definition of hate. One man sifts and reviews through the movie sludge. One man will be the movie cop, jury, and judge. He goes by many names, but you know him by Movies Merica.
Hey there, my movie maniacs, my fellow freedom-fueled film fanatics. Welcome to this latest episode of Movies Merica, and it's a The Flash episode of Movies Merica, a spoiler-free review, so fret not, okay? And as always, come on in. Make yourself at home, mi casa, su casa, okay? And we're just going to get right into it because I always like to get started with the synopsis of the movie, just to kind of give you
Let's go, on board, let's go.
kind of a basis, a little foundation over what we're going to be going over here today with The Flash, all right? So, The Flash is the latest entry in the DCEU, or the DC Entertainment Universe, I believe, is what that stands for. And it stars the aforementioned Ezra Miller. There we go. I forgot his name there for a second. Ezra Miller as Barry Allen / The Flash, okay? I like that. / The Flash. There you go. Maybe that's the horror movie that's going to come out next about the Flash and something bad that's going to happen to him / the Flash. I like it. But yeah, so like I said, Ezra Miller is the Flash in this. And it starts out after the events of Justice League. And so the Flash is firmly entrenched in the Justice League. We have Batman and, of course, the other members of the Justice League are Wonder Woman and Cyborg and Superman. And I think that's everyone. I think so. Yeah, okay. And so at the beginning of this movie, there's, a crisis that the Flash is needed for, and Batman and maybe some others. Who knows? Okay. And so there is a halfway decent-looking chase scene in the beginning of this movie, featuring, I'll say, Ben Affleck's Batman, okay? And then they have Jeremy Irons Alfred helping out with this chase. He's kind of like the man in the van, right? He's the guy behind the laptop directing everything. And so, yeah, this chase and the action and all that in that scene in the very beginning of the movie is pretty good. And then after that all dies down and the city is saved again, then we find Barry Allen, and we find out that his father is on trial, is being accused of murdering the Flash's mother, Barry's mother. And his dad actually is now played by Peter Gibbons himself from Office Space, Ron Livingston. His dad's name is Henry in the movie. The character's name is Henry. And he was previously played by Billy Crudup, but Billy Crudup had a scheduling conflict because he's in the show on Apple TV called The Morning Show, and so they had to bring in Ron Livingston in to play Barry's dad, who again is accused of murdering Barry's mom. And so we're introduced to that storyline, and obviously that tells us that Barry's mom is dead, right? And you could tell that from the trailers for this movie. And so then apparently Barry's got a little too much time on his hands, and he starts thinking of a stupid idea to go back in time to try to save his mom. The cause is worthy, obviously, right? But the technique and the method in which to do it is fraught with all kinds of hazards, right? You don't screw around with time, right?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
The butterfly effect and all that. And so he does ultimately go back in time. Obviously, you can tell that from the trailer. That's not a spoiler. That's not a spoiler whatsoever, okay? And as you would expect, things don't go exactly smoothly, all right? And that's where our movie jumps off from, all right? So stay tuned. Now, this show is spoiler-free, but my show on Thursday nights called Movies America Spoiler Warning is definitely not spoiler-free, okay? We get all spoilery, and I spoil you rotten on that show if you watch it. And the whole premise of that show is the movie that I'm reviewing right now, okay, on a Sunday spoiler-free review. In this case, the movie is The Flash. I want to have an opportunity for you to join me to talk about the movie in depth, spoilers and all. And the show, Movies America Spoiler Warning, gives us both that opportunity, okay? So you can join me and live chat with me this Thursday night at 7 Eastern, and that's 4 Pacific, and then that would be 6 Central and 5 Mountain Time. And you just have to go to YouTube or Rumble and just look for Movies America Spoiler Warning. Probably the easiest way to find it is on Thursday, the day of the show, right? If you go to my Twitter account, at Movies America, you're going to find the links right there. Or again, if you go to YouTube or Rumble on Thursday and just look up Movies America, you'll see the way to join Movies America Spoiler Warning right there. But yeah, you'll get to live chat with me. You can ask me questions about The Flash, comment about The Flash. It doesn't even have to be about The Flash. You could, live chat with me about everything. Hey, put a poop emoji on the live chat for all I care. That's cool. I just want to hear from you, okay? I want that engagement, okay? And now when you search for it on YouTube, just a word of caution, because YouTube is stupid. And YouTube is not the cool place to watch it anyway. I'll be quite frankly, it's kind of like the cold, nerdy house on Halloween when you go trick-or-treating that hands out dental floss, instead of candy. Where Rumble is the cool, hip place that you hang out with all your friends at, right? That's the house on Halloween where they hand out like the full-size Snickers bars. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But on YouTube, if you search for Movies America, it's going to try to search for Movies America. Nope. You want to click on where it says up at the top, search instead for Movies America. Click on that, and then that'll jostle YouTube's brain into giving you the results based on what you actually typed in, okay? So anyway, enough about that. I really want to see you there. I really hope you join me for Movies America Spoiler Warning this Thursday night. See you there. Ezra Miller is just the cinematic equivalent of getting your teeth drilled, while at the same time the dental assistant is running a nail down a chalkboard, okay? And we haven't even touched on what a dumpster fire Ezra Miller is in real life, all right? Miller plays Barry Allen as like this neurotic, whiny beta boy, okay? Tom Holland is so much better at doing the whole superhero comes of age thing, okay? And I'm guessing that Miller probably washes himself in the dailies for his movies, and then that's why he does all the hard drugs he does in bulk and has a rap sheet longer than the end credits to this movie, okay? Now, Flash director Andy Muschietti said that he doesn't think anyone else can play the role of Barry Allen as well as Ezra Miller. And I'll tell you right here and right now, I saw absolutely nothing in this movie to back up that point. So that's either Muschietti being a prisoner of the moment or just trying to blow sunshine up everyone's butt because this is his movie, or both, You gotta respect the grift. Hey, it wouldn't be a show if I didn't ask you to subscribe to this channel and like this video, okay? And then hit that notification bell if you would, to get notification personally for you when a hot, sizzling, piping new episode of Movies Merica is ready and coming out of the oven just for you, okay? And then also getting those comments down below this episode, because that's yet another way to engage with me and for me to hear from you, because I definitely want that, okay? You can comment to me with like questions, comments, commentary, tips, or anything like that you want. Go nuts, go crazy, okay? And then also get to tdpn.locals.com. That's our website, and that's where we have all our videos and blogs and articles about everything like movies and entertainment, hot button issues, politics, fantastic like drink recipes like cocktails and that kind of thing. And the content you're going to get there about those topics is nothing like what you're going to get anywhere else. This is one-of-a-kind content that you're only going to see at tdpn.locals.com, okay? Like I always say, like, you're just going to be, like, talking to your friends, like, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. Get over here. Check this out. You're not going to see anything like this anywhere else. Get over here. You know, you're going to be amazed, all right? So, and it may seem like I'm overselling it, probably, but no, I'm kidding. But check it out. TDPN as Until Death Podcast Network, tdpn.locals.com, all right? And it's $3 a month minimum, but if you go there right now and you put in promo code TDPN, you're going to get 1 month free, okay? All right, I hope to see you there. We want you to reach out, be part of that TDPN family. All right. If you go in with low expectations, this movie is tolerable. Michael Keaton is the best part of this movie, reprising his Batman from the 1989 Batman and 1992 Batman Returns films. However, even he isn't the savior of this movie that many are bellowing that he is through tear-filled eyes. He's good, but he's just not in the movie enough and doesn't do enough to make him this figure that makes you want to jump out of your seat and give like 100 fist pumps that I was personally hoping for, okay? I was hoping he'd be more fantastic than he was. And it probably didn't help that they had him dressed up like Hugh Hefner for a lot of the movie when he wasn't all batted up, except for when he was costumed like a homeless guy when you first meet him here. And so he was, some of the other times in the movie, he was like sporting like a bat ascot for some reason. And now Sasha Calle, she does a great job as Kara, a.k.a. Supergirl, and she just brings this somber power to the role so that when she acts indifferent and furious, you actually believe it, okay? And she is the refreshing antithesis to Miller's just begging for a tranquilizer dart, manic, straight up annoying energy, okay? Hey, Ezra, are you going to finish that last hit of Molly? Because I'd really like to take that last hit of Molly to help me forget your performance, okay? Now, Ben Affleck's Batman provides some good action, like I was mentioning earlier, with a chase scene towards the beginning of the movie. And it just makes you want to see more of his Batman and Michael Keaton's Batman instead of more of, The Flash. I know. I always call out the over-reliance and flood of CGI in movies nowadays. But you know what? I'm going to keep doing it because that crap needs to be called out, all right? The Flash has an additional problem, though, in addition to there being too much of it with their CGI. It's a total turd sandwich in a lot of places. And there's a scene in the first 15 minutes involving a hospital and some babies where it looks like the CGI actually was done by the babies themselves, okay? And speaking of the babies in this scene, there's a scene where the Flash puts a baby in a microwave, okay? You'll have to watch this movie to get the context, but it is a really off-putting image given that we know that this kind of thing happens in real life. Ugh, I'll tell you. I know that they were trying to go for some goofy, like, dark humor with it, but it just doesn't land, to be honest. And the CGI babies and the dog in this scene looks like they were done by an overworked visual effects studio, because they likely were, okay? That's a big problem with all these movies and TVs, is overdoing it with the CGI, particularly Marvel, who is known as the biggest whipcracker on the visual effects plantation, all right? That's just a well-known fact in the industry. And now the CGI in the day scenes, they look worse, of course, because they're in the daytime, right? They stand out more. Most of the Batman action scenes, though, those take place in the dark, so you can't really tell the CGI as bad. Now, there is a battle scene towards the end that is just a moldy fruitcake filled with bad CGI. Take my word for it, all right? And the bad CGI includes shots of Michael Shannon's General Zod character. And the way they CGI General Zod's face is Krypton size bad. Okay, trust me on that. And the filmmakers especially crap the CGI bed when they do the cameos in this movie. There are some past Superman cameos, and they add insult to injury by not ensuring that the CGI behind them are done with the care and the respect that they should show, the proper respect that they should show to the characters that they're using in a actual tacky way just to drum up business for this movie. Now, Flash filmmakers, let me invite you to look up the word reverence, okay? Do it now. That's right. It's Brew review time. And sitting here rapping about movies, man, it's hard work. It's a man's work, I tell you. I'm glad I threw my steel-toed work boots on. This is a blue-collar, very labor-intensive job, just sitting here talking about movies, all right? And so I am thirsty, all right? And so tonight's lucky beer that is going to quench that thirst is Uno Momento. That is a little Saloon Door Doc Hoppaday. Here, let me get that right there so you can actually see it. So yeah, Saloon Door Doc Hoppaday, all right? And this comes to us from Webster, Texas, okay? And this is just an American IPA. And yeah, it's got like good slight citrus flavor, so it gives it that slight acidity flavor that kind of makes it more, it makes it more refreshing, okay? And it's just got this kind of this juicy, sweet citrus aroma to it as well to go with the good taste. All right, it's not the best IPA that I've ever had, but it does a job in a pinch. Okay, I mean, if I pick this up, I would think it's a good beer. Okay, and it's definitely better than Bud Light, that tranny fluid from Anheuser-Busch. Okay, this is the good stuff. All right, do yourself a favor and actually show some imagination and get some good beer instead. All right, it's like 6.8% alcohol by volume, so it definitely kicks more than a Bud Light. That's faux show. Okay, so all right, enough yapping about this, and I'm gonna take a drink here, of course. My sweet Lord, as George Harrison would say. All right. Hey, that's enough for Brew Review time. Let's move on with The Flash. This movie, along with Blue Beetle and Aquaman 2, are supposed to be the last movies in the Snyderverse part of the DC or the Snyderverse era. The James Gunn era of DC is supposed to take the keys to the car after that. And due to this, I can see a lot of people not being particularly giddy to rush out to theaters to see this. This movie is one of the last dying breaths of the Snyderverse era of the soon-to-be irrelevant DC era, okay? Now, this movie was filmed mostly in 2021 before anybody knew that the Snyderverse era of DC would end.
Bye-bye. 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 You are bye-bye.
So then in October 2022, it was announced that James Gunn and Peter Safran would take over DC, and the universe that this Flash is in basically is dead. The universe that this Flash is part of was dead, okay? Now, the Gunn era will start with a phase that they call Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. And as I watched this particular movie, I had that in mind. And so I just couldn't get into this movie as much as I tried, okay? But James Gunn and Warner Brothers, they have said that they will bring this Flash, Ezra Miller's Flash, back into their new era, that Chapter 1 Gods and Monsters era, if this movie makes as much as the Batman movie from last year with Robert Pattinson. If it makes as much as the Batman from last year does, then they'll bring it over to the new era. Now, just to let you know, the Batman last year made $128 million in the U.S. alone in its opening weekend. Okay, $128 million. Remember that number. So as of right now, as of when I'm recording this, the Flash is projected to not even make $70 million in its opening weekend. Okay, so it has to make at least $128 million in the U.S. alone, and it's projected not to even make $70 million in the U.S. For whom the bell tolls, Barry Allen. All right, everybody. Hey, let me just take a quick minute to let you all know about this fantastic product that you are going to be thanking me for letting you know about. It's called Nature Clear Recovery Powder. And what it is, it's a powder that you can use to avoid getting a hangover, okay? So if you're like me and you like to go out and have a good time, and sometimes that good time involves a little alcohol, and maybe sometimes you overdo it, hey, you might have to worry about a diamond splinter headache the next morning, a hangover, right? Well, if you don't have to worry about that, get yourself some Nature Clear Recovery Powder, okay? And it comes in these handy packets right there. And all you do is just pour it in like 12 ounces of water, or like a bottle of water, right? Just pour it in there and just drink that before you go out before you go out, I guess, is, for what I want to say. And also you can mix in like some lemonade Mio in the water. I've heard that flavors it up, makes it even tastier, okay? So you just take that before you go out, okay? So you can party with confidence. But if you do happen to go out and you forgot to take it and you're like 22 tequila shots in, you're like, oh my God, I forgot to take my Nature Clear. Have no fear. Just take it when you get home, okay? Just grab your packet when you get home and chug that when you get home and you're good to go. And it also helps you recover from smoking and vaping, okay? So this is like an all-around Swiss Army knife of recovery there for you. So didn't I say you'd be glad that I told you about this? I know. As usual, I'm always right. Okay, so all you have to do in order to get this is click on the link in the description, okay? Click on that, go to the Nature Clear website from that link, pick what you want to buy, get it in the cart, and then in the cart, in the promo code field, you just have to put in the promo code MOVIES, and you get up to 25% off your next order, okay? So don't hesitate, just do it, okay? All right, on with the show. Is The Flash a woke after-school special? No, except for the dialogue in a very small part of an early scene. So this will be a very short segment, okay? I can't even begin to describe to you how this little speck of communist-flavored woke goes down, because, to be honest, it would reveal a decent-sized spoiler, or I can't do it. I can't do it!
What?
All right? I can tell you, though, it's something that Batman says. Outside of that, though, really, the stench of wokeness is nowhere to be found in this movie, to this movie's credit. It seems this movie's main aim was to tell a story and entertain, and not to lecture and indoctrinate. Mind-blowing, right? I know. I just won't quit asking you to subscribe to this channel and like this video, okay? And then also hit that notification bell again, because I want you to get notified whenever a hot, sizzling, piping new episode is ready for you of Movies Merica, fresh, ready for you, coming out of the oven, okay? And also getting those comments down below, and reach out to me. Okay, let's get this engagement going here with the comments section. And then also, please go to tdpn.locals.com. All right, you'll be doing yourself a favor. All right, it's a solid website with solid content. We've got articles, videos, blogs, all about movies, entertainment, hot button topics, politics, the big events of the day. I got cocktail recipes out there. I mean, you name it, okay? And that is, again, out at TDPN, as in Till Death Podcast Network, tdpn.locals.com. And normally it's a minimum of $3 a month, but right now, if you go out there and you put in promo code TDPN, you're going to get a free month of all the fantastic content out at that website, okay? So do me a solid, if you would, and go out there and check that out, okay? All right. Hey, again, on with the show. I just wanted to throw some assorted knowledge nuggets about this movie your way. One nugget is that the score by Benjamin Wallfish just blatantly rips off John Williams for the most part, okay? And then, of course, this movie does have the Danny Elfman Batman theme from the Keaton Batman movie because Michael Keaton is in this movie, okay? So it makes sense. Another nugget is that there are some event variance gags in the multiverse part of this movie, like how Eric Stoltz is actually Marty McFly in Back to the Future, okay? And then Michael J. Fox is in Footloose, and he replaces Kevin Bacon. Now, Eric Stoltz, the relevance of that is Eric Stoltz actually was picked to be Marty McFly in Back to the Future in real life, in our time, okay, in our universe. But it didn't quite work out, and so they got Michael J. Fox, obviously, to replace him as Marty McFly, okay? And, so a lot of, event variance stuff like that, okay? Now, this movie does try to get your waterworks going, but it just didn't work for me. Maybe I'm just too cold-hearted, or my memory is still too good, because I remember that the moments that they used to try to get you to pretend like you got, sand in your eye, were already in other movies. There's a scene towards the end of the movie where they really go for it. I mean, they really swing for the fences, and they really try to get you blubbering with this part towards the end. But this scene is just too much like the Tony Stark scenes with his dad, Howard, in Avengers Endgame. But Endgame did it better, quite frankly, to be totally honest. Now, believe me, I am not a man with a heart of stone, okay? There are movies that can get me ugly crying, okay? I can give you my 100% USDA prime choice guarantee on that. I mean, did you ever see The Green Mile or Field of Dreams? As I wrap up this latest episode of Movies Merica, let me ask you, do you remember Jerry Springer, the late Jerry Springer, and how he had his final thought towards the end of every one of his episodes? Well, allow me to give you my final thought about The Flash. So, like I said, as long as you go into it with low expectations, you'll find it tolerable, okay? And also, the end credits scene, you probably have heard that there's an end credits scene after the end credits. Don't bother sticking around for it. It doesn't move the story along or the universe along whatsoever, okay? So, hey, with that, everybody, like I always say, get out there, people. Those movies aren't going to watch themselves. See ya.
Hey guys, don't leave the video quite yet. Okay, I've got the popo. They're coming after me, and I don't have much time to tell you, but you need to like and subscribe this video right here, down below. It's right down there. It's just waiting. It's waiting for you down there, okay? And make sure you watch these videos over here too. You'll be doing me a big favor. I'll be in handcuffs pretty soon. All right. Thanks for watching.